This is Fight Week. This is CALLUM Walsh going up against Dean Sutherland. But first, the arrivals. They arrived at Legends Bar here in New York City. So let's look at some of the festivities. Once again, this is Fight Week. We are going to take you through the week. It's an exciting week. Once again, we start at Legends. We have the final press conference. We have the weigh-in, and then we have post, the results. And once again, it is St. Patrick's Day weekend, and it doesn't get better. It's a great weekend for the Irish, and as I said, the Irish are fighting, and this is a full Irish card. With us, Fergal McCory. He'll be fighting on the card for St. Patrick's Day weekend. Now tell me, are you still fighting out of Woodland?
No, I'm fighting out of Fulton Street, downtown Manhattan, with Colin Morgan and Bout Fight Club.
And tell me about all your preparation.
I've been in New York now since the 14th of January. We've been working hard for 8-9 weeks now, whatever it is. I've sacrificed a lot. I've left my family at home, my wife, my 3 kids. And I'm excited now to get going on Sunday night. I have so many people coming. They fill me with great pride, and I can't wait to represent them.
Now tell me a little bit about your opponent.
He's good. He's very good. He's tough. He's tall. He's strong. He's had plenty of notice for this fight. He's coming off a world title effort loss, as am I. It's a very important fight for the both of us, and I expect a really hard night. I expect a great fight, and I'm excited.
And tell me now, your only loss was against
Lamont Roach.
Yes, Lamont, who just fought recently. Did you see that knockdown, and what did you think of, not the knockdown, the knee, what did you think about that?
I think that if Lamont had have taken the knee as Tank did, he would have got a count. The rules state that if you get hit and you go down, it's a count, and I know there was a delayed reaction, if you like, but you can't do that. I believe that Lamont won the fight. Maybe there's a little bit of bias there too, but I believe he won the fight, I really do. And congratulations to him. He shocked the world, but he didn't shock me.
And then in that type of situation, what should have been done? What should have Tank done in that situation?
He should have stayed on his feet. Listen, maybe he did have something in his eye. I don't know, I can't say. But if he got his hair done a few days before the fight, surely he got a shower somewhere in between. I don't know. I think it's just bad. I think it's just... It's left a lot of question marks, but what it has also done for both competitors is opened the door for a lucrative rematch. A lot more money for both, hopefully, and good luck to them.
Do you think you'll get a rematch with Lamont?
I'd love a rematch with Lamont. That's the competitor in me. We all want that rematch. We all want to test ourselves. And with the benefit of hindsight, I would do it all again. I wouldn't change anything. I would change how I fought. I would change the result. But, I fought for the world title. I went to the champion's hometown. I'm still bitterly disappointed I didn't get the job done. But it's about learning from that and growing from that and improving and kicking on in my career now.
And getting back to this fight, what have you worked on?
Everything. Lamont showed a lot of vulnerabilities, let's be honest. I believe we've improved them massively, and it's about showcasing that come Sunday night in a very hard fight. I'll be asked a lot of questions on Sunday night. Let's see if I have the answer.
Well, say a shout out to your fans there.
Thank you all so much. Thank you to everyone for coming, making the trip over from Ireland, from England, all over America, all my people in New York, my sponsors. My greatest achievement in boxing, no matter what I ever accomplish in a ring, will always be the support and the fans that I've generated and the real connection I've made with people. That will forever be my greatest achievement. Thank you so much.
Is your family coming over?
My wife and 3 babies land on Saturday, and I can't wait to see them.
With us, CALLUM Walsh, going to be fighting once again here at the theater at Madison Square Garden, St. Patrick's Day weekend. Tell us a little bit about Dean Sutherland and your opponent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm looking forward to headlining this massive Irish event. This is a real Irish card with real Irish fighters. And we're going to put on a show. My opponent, Dean Sutherland, he's coming to the fight ready. I can only imagine that he's prepared to his best for this type of a card, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a good test.
Now, tell me, now you've been with Freddie Roach. Tell me a little bit about that experience, and what's the difference between Ireland and here in the United States?
Yeah, I've been with Freddie 4 years now, so we have a good relationship, me and Freddie. We've been together for a long time, and he's a massive help for my career. I'm learning every single day. He's a massive boost to just have, confidence boost to have in my corner. You know what I mean? And even here right now, Freddie Roach is a legend, and yeah, I'm learning constantly, and just having him here is unbelievable, and I can't wait to have him in my corner again on March 16th.
I was here for your last couple fights here. Now, there were some struggles a bit. I mean, none of the fights were easy. What did you take from your, now that you've looked at the tapes, from those experiences?
Yeah, I understand that headlining Madison Square Garden, you're not going to get any easy fights. You know what I mean? I don't expect to come here and get an easy fight, so I'm looking forward to tough fights, as long as I keep winning, that's my job, and I haven't been really happy with my performance here yet. I've had 2 good fights, but I'll be looking forward to a better performance on Sunday.
And is this fight part of the TKO fighting that Dana White and Turkey Alakish are starting?
No, I wish it was, or I'd be getting paid a lot more money, you know what I mean? But no, this is UFC Fight Pass and 360 Promotions, but I would definitely look forward to fighting with TKO, in the future.
Because I saw your name tied to it, so that's a good thing. So just to end it, tell us about your opponent, Dean Sutherland.
Yeah, like I said, Dean is definitely coming ready for this fight. He's a young up-and-coming fighter that's chasing his dreams too, so may the best man win on Sunday.
Hey, let me ask you one question. Did you see the Tank fight with Lamont Roach?
I seen bits and pieces, but I didn't see the whole fight, no.
So what did you think? Did you see the knee come down in the 9th? What did you think about that, and what should be done in that circumstance as a fighter?
I have no idea really, but if you get caught with a couple of punches and then you take a knee, you know what I mean? It's only right that you should be called a knockdown. If you really need to take, you shouldn't have to take a knee. You can call to the referee, or you can say there's something wrong with your eye, and he can stop it. But I think if you take a knee, it's a knockdown.
Hey, well, say a shout out to your fans.
Yeah, big shout out to my fans. I'm hoping everybody comes to Madison Square Garden March 16th, and I'll be looking forward to seeing everyone.
Hi, I'm Kristal Hart, and we are at the theater at Madison Square Garden, and this is St. Patrick's Day weekend coming up, and the Irish are fighting. We have CALLUM Walsh going up against Dean Sutherland, and this is the final press conference. The fight takes place Sunday, March 16th, and it'll be broadcast on UFC Fight Pass.
We're really excited about this show. Sunday, March 16th, St. Patrick's weekend. It's an early show, Sunday matinee. First fight starts at 4 p.m. So get there early. It's going to be live on UFC Fight Pass. We've got a lot of celebrities coming out to Madison Square Garden. It doesn't get any better than promoting on St. Patty's weekend at Madison Square Garden. We're looking forward to all the Irish fighters, all the fighters on the show, headlined by King CALLUM Walsh versus Dean Sutherland. We got Thomas Carty on the show. We got Emmett Brennan, Kevin Cronin. We got some local fighters, Donald Keary and Sean O'Brada. We got Fergal McCrory. So it's something for everyone, and we're really looking forward to it.
I love your Rangers shirt there.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just want to ask you, we talked about this before, when Showtime closed, HBO stopped. What do you feel the future of boxing is? I've been reading a lot of articles about TKO boxing and Dana White. Where do you feel it's going to go, and Turkey Alakish?
Now, what Dana's planning to do with his announcement with TKO Boxing, it's tremendous. What his plans are. I think he's going to bring a lot of energy, a lot of excitement into boxing. It was a big blow when both HBO and Showtime left, but I think it's moving towards the future to streaming services, and whenever you get a combination like that, like Dana and Turkey and Nick Khan from WWE, when you get that combination, it's just going to be a tremendous energy. So I'm looking forward to what they're going to do. I think they're going to put some great energy into the sport, and we'll see the best matchups in the sport as well.
I'm the manager, yes. I'm the manager of Kevin Cronin, who is in a rematch against Emmett Brennan, and a fight which I believe, and the majority of people who watched it believe, that he won in Dublin. Emmett is an Irish Olympian, and Kevin kind of upset the apple cart, and in my opinion should have got the nod, and Dana White's opinion should have got the nod, but he didn't. So we did a rematch, and we did it here in the Garden on Paddy's Day weekend. Fantastic.
With us, Kevin Cronin, also going to be on the card, but this is a rematch. So tell us how the first fight went now, and you're fighting Emmett Brennan.
Yeah, me and Emmett, we had a cracker on the first one, probably a fight of the year, Irish fight of the year, I'd say, but yeah, it was a good fight. Emmett got the nod, and I'm here for redemption, I'm here for revenge, and we're taking it.
Well, who was victorious on that one?
Emmett got the nod in that one, yeah. I've no more to say on that one. Look, I'm looking at Sunday night. Everyone else can be talking about that one, but yeah. Look, they poked the bear. That's what I'll say.
Now, how did it? You looked at the tapes. How did you change, or what has changed now for this fight?
Yeah, there's a lot changed. Probably went into that fight as a huge underdog, giving little respect from anyone really. Bookies, no respect from no one. There's a lot of respect in me coming into this one. A lot of people respect me more coming into this one. Yeah, a lot's changed. A hell of a lot's changed. I'm not going to go too much into it, but like that, it was a war the first time. Emmett predicted a war up there. I predicted a war before the first one. Emmett predicted a one-sided fight. I don't predict a war this time. I predict a one-sided fight this time. I'm going to show out this time. I'm not worrying about Emmett Brennan like I was the first time, wondering about how good he is. This time I'm here to show how good I am. And yeah, it's time for me to break out, beat the superstar, and break onto that world stage for myself.
And where did you train out of?
Yeah, I train out at Lewin's Gym in Dublin. So from Kerry, it's 3.5 hours from there. So had to, probably the big change from all my other fights to this fight is the relocating. So actually got an apartment this time to stay the whole week. It's like spending my full weeks in training camp in Dublin this time, rather than driving up and down probably 2 times a week for the last fight. So it was a half-ass camp last time. It's not a half-ass camp this time. Look, I'm going in confident, but I'm aware. Not cocky. I'm cautious, of course. But yeah, I predicted Kevin Cronin, a big Kevin Cronin win. And I didn't predict it last time, but I'm knocking Emmett Brennan out.
Well, that's good. I was to Dublin when Katie Taylor fought. Yes, at the 3.
Katie's a legend for Irish boxing, and Joe, whenever her time ends, we'd be looking back at her in years and years to come to say she's the greatest Irish fighter to ever do it.
She's going to be fighting here again in the big arena, against those two really go at it.
I know, yeah, look, it's a war every time they go. Very well matched fighters, very, very close fights always between the two of them. Katie obviously is 2-0. Look, hopefully all going to plan for Katie. It'll be 3-0, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to make my way over to it and see it. So it'll be unbelievable. I think that's on the big stadium here, but yeah, hopefully get to see that. But on my eyes right now are on Sunday night, and create my own future in this sport.
Oh, and it's going to be. Will you be here also for the parade the next day? Because it's a big event here in New York City.
Yeah. Look, we'll be celebrating the parade and celebrating with a successful win as well, and we've our after party as well in the Pig and Whistle where we'll celebrate a successful night on Sunday. But yeah, look, can't wait to see everyone. Shocked by the crowd that's coming out. I'm obviously the first man from County Kerry to ever grace Madison Square Garden in the boxing ring. So it's just something unbelievable, creating a bit of history there as well. So look, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great night. There's great fights in it. Great Irish crowd coming out. As I said, shocked by the crowd that's coming out. I thought maybe I'd get a pocket of 50 or 60 people to travel all together, and it's well into the hundreds now. So yeah, I'm breaking on to the next level on that side of things. Now I've just got to do it in the ring.
Well, just say a shout out to all your fans out there.
Yeah, huge shout out to all my fans, my sponsors, everyone just supporting me. Look, we've done it the hard way. I've come from the small hall scene, fighting in bingo halls. Majority of the guys on that side of the table, they've very little of them, I suppose, have really felt that side of it. Maybe being in the a bingo hall sounds mad saying it, but that's where I've been. That's where I had most of my fights, and I got an opportunity from Tom Loeffler in Dublin. They liked it. They felt I'd done certain things in that fight. They wanted to see it again. So yeah, look, I'm going to impress them again Sunday night, and they're going to be bringing me back to bigger and better things again.
Okay, we're looking forward to having your hand raised.
Brilliant, 100%.
Thank you. So what has changed? I mean, you say you felt he got the victory.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know if it was incompetent judging because they see an Olympian from Ireland and then they see this unknown kind of guy come in and push him all the way, and they probably say it with a little bit of favoritism, who knows, but it was a close fight, but I believe my guy won, and I think the majority of people who watched believe my guy won, so I'm really looking forward to the rematch. Some more fair judging here in New York.
Will you be in his corner?
No, I'll not be in the corner. I'll be ringside for the fight.
Will be ringside. Okay. And what has he changed since then? I mean, how do you pick yourself up from a loss like that, and what do you think he's changed?
Yeah, the team have been working on a game plan, and a lot of the things which happened in the first fight are probably going to happen again. So they've been working little things to negate and work towards. So he's just more prepared. He's been in there, and you've had that experience of sharing, 8 rounds of an opponent. Now this fight's over 10 rounds, and he has the bigger engine. So it's going to be really good.
Okay. Well, that's March 16th. This is
Yep.
St. Patrick's Day weekend, and you're going to stay for that parade, right?
Yeah, of course. I
always
have
a
my
good
I have
one.
my wife and my kids coming over, and we're going to enjoy Paddy's Day. It's one of my first times here, where I've not been making weight and I've been able to eat what I want and eat all the pizza I want. So it's been really nice.
Usually he's on the card.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
usually I can't do nothing. So I've been eating multiple pizzas, cannolis, everything.
Maybe even a shot of that tequila.
Nah, well, I have my own lager, Le Gras Irish Lager, and it's coming to America very soon.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Oh, you're going to have a lager.
Yeah, I have my own lager, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's it? It's called.
It's called Le Gras, and Le Gras in Irish means with love. So I could say, oh, New York Le Gras, which means from New York with love. It's the only lager in the world that has shamrocks in it, brewed with shamrocks.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I got some
So.
shamrock earrings on
Yes,
here.
I see
here
them.
Right
I see them.
now.
Yep, you're rocking it. You're rocking
Okay,
it.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking forward to that
Yeah.
lager.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we have a sponsor here, and this is a new tequila. Am I correct?
That's correct, yes. It's the first tequila in the world that unites Ireland and Mexico.
And the name of it?
Irlandés tequila. Irlandés is a Spanish word for Irish or Irishman. Basically, this tequila is only 3 ingredients. It's one plant, the blue Weber agave. It's French yeast. And then it's the only tequila in the world. We hand sourced a little bit of sacred water from an ancient well in Ireland because there was 50 Irishmen that were killed in Mexico in 1847, along with 6 Mexican boys. And one of those soldiers, his name was Francis O'Connor, before he left Ireland during the Great Irish Potato Famine in 1845, he had taken holy water from that well. And when he was to be killed in Mexico, he asked the Mexican priest to anoint him with that same sacred water. So I searched Ireland for over a year because there's over 3,000 blessed wells in Ireland. I finally found the well. We hand source that water, never on a Sunday or a holy day. And then we take it 5,202 miles down to Arandas, Los Altos, to make the first and only tequila in the world that unites Ireland and Mexico. This is 50 drops of blood for the 50 Irishmen that were killed, and that's the well in Ireland. So basically, I'll tell you the story behind it was during 1847, about 200 Irishmen, they went all the way down to Texas. They weren't allowed to celebrate their faith in America at the time because the United States Army would deny them the First Amendment rights. It was unconstitutional. So they swam across the Rio Grande River, 40 of them, on a Sunday to go to church in Mexico. And then Polk declared war on Mexico and they started burning down Mexican Catholic churches. So they formed this battalion known as Battalion Irlandés, the Irish battalion, the St. Patricians of St. Patrick's. They were in the course of 5 major battles for the next year and a half. There was a convent of Mexican nuns that made a flag for them, and on that flag it said Éireann Gabra, Ireland forever. They had that flag at the Battle of Churubusco on August the 20th, 1847. Santa Anna begged this Irish battalion to help save the retreating Mexican army because they were artillery unit, and they did. But because the nuns had made the the flag for them. They wanted to save their comet, so they surrounded their comet and they saved it. It still stands to this day. But by doing this, they got surrounded and they were finally captured. It's the biggest desertion military rate in all U.S. military wars. Over 10% of the United States Army deserted and abandoned the United States Army, and they went back to America. 10,000 men, and only 50 Irishmen were illegally punished. It's the single biggest mass hanging in all American history. They illegally hung 48 of the San Patricios, and they shot 2 of them by firing squad. One of those soldiers to be killed, his name was Francis O'Connor. Before he left Ireland in 1845, as was tradition, and still is tradition to this day, he had taken holy water from a sacred well in East Village, and when he was to die, he asked the Mexican priest to anoint him with that water. And then I found that well. We hand-sourced that water to bring it down to Mexico to make the first tequila that celebrates the San Patricios.
Well, a tequila with a story. With us, Salidas, the what is Hebrew hammer. Okay.
Let me turn this out. Let me turn this on. First off, this is Kristal Hart. I don't know if you guys don't know. Kristal Hart, I found out, has been in the boxing game forever. Forever. I found her YouTube channel, and I scrolled down, it's like videos from like 20 years ago. I'm like, this is unbelievable, with like world champions that you would just dream of talking to and had the ability to do that. So I gotta say, shout out to you, Mr. Hart. Ms. Hart, that was unbelievable.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
This is my wife now.
Jessica. Very nice to meet you. I remember you last year.
How's it all going?
It's going good. Married, things are good. Got married about 6 months ago,
6
which
months?
is crazy, at the Long Island Aquarium. We had to do things a little bit different. So we went, first venue, we looked at each other and we're like, all right, be cool, don't show them how much you want this. We leave and we sign a contract. We're like, all right, get married in September. So sharks, the whole 9 behind us.
Tell them about dinner tomorrow.
Oh, and tomorrow is actually our 1-year anniversary of getting engaged. So it's all coming together for this show.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Tell me how your weight is going as we're talking. Tell me a little bit about your opponent here.
You don't want to talk about her weight? No, so my weight's great. Exactly. You want to go to hell? Yeah. I learned a lot. Weight's great. You can see from the energy that I have. I could weigh in. If we wanted to weigh in tonight, I could possibly, but if we're not doing it tonight, so I'll have to wait till tomorrow. The weight's fine. It's always been a hassle for a lot of fighters, but for me, I've been here for so long, I understand how to do it and not have to kill myself or punish myself. Even my entire team and my wife, she's just so proud of how well I look and how much I weigh and everything.
It was a consistent camp. He did the right thing. He ate right. He trained right. He didn't overexert himself and knew where to really apply it in the camp to put everything in. So really proud of him being the weight he is now, especially since fighting 140. You tell people that, they're like, what do you mean? He fights at 140. I haven't been that since 6th grade. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But he does it right.
I think one of the biggest things that I was so proud of being able to say was, I think I need to take a few days off. And this is like law in the boxing world or any athlete. You can't have any time off. It's balls to the wall. And about a month ago, I was like, I need a few days off. And my wife said, Jessica said, absolutely. And then took a day off, 2 days. She's like, take more. Took 5 days off in the middle of a training camp. And it was the best thing I ever did for this entire thing.
His version of taking off is still going to hot yoga class, still going to spin. It's a different type of taking off, but just getting that mental time, that's when you knew a true fighter is coming full circle as being an elite fighter and champion in the making, because they know their body, they know their training camp, and they know what they're bringing to the table and the best way to be there. And I have no doubt in my mind this is going to be a show to remember when Cletus brings it home.
Well, thank you.
And your opponent is
Solano, he was 15-0, and that's the guy I'm expecting, the 15-0 guy from 2020, and he's a good fighter, good fighter. You could see that he got those 4 last losses, but if you go look at his fights, it shows what type of fighter he is, and he's only lost to really good guys, so it's going to be a great fight, exciting as always. Well, my style matches up with absolutely nobody because nobody wants to bang with me. And if I have to do some boxing, I am prepared to actually do that this time. If I have to get on my toes and show my Roy Jones Jr., my absolute dream when I first started. I will have to do that.
With us, Dean Sutherland, here at Madison Square Garden, the theater, on St. Patrick's Day weekend. Now tell me about your fight with CALLUM WALSH.
My fight with Callum's going to be an absolute belter. It's going to be an absolute firefight right from the very start. The two of us are going to bring it. It's going to be very exciting and exactly what St. Patrick's Day weekend in a beautiful arena like Madison Square Garden deserves.
And where were you training at?
I train in Glasgow in Scotland. So we're flown over here on Monday. We're ready to rock and roll and unfortunately upset the Irish this weekend.
Have you been here before?
I've been here before, a good few years ago now, but it looks totally different when I've got my name up in the headlights there.
How do you think the styles are different here in America and maybe over in the Scotland area?
I think definitely the Americans got a lot more publicity, especially in Scotland. With us, we don't get a lot of publicity. In the UK, it would be England that do get the push, but to have a Scotsman and an Irishman headlining over in America, that's what it's all about.
Now tell me a little bit about your style compared to his style.
The styles are going to gel. It's going to gel. Both of us can box, both of us can fight, both of us can brawl. So we'll just wait and see whatever Callum brings. I know I'm going to be better than him on the night.
Okay, well, would you say a shout out to all your fans?
Yeah, huge shout out to everybody travelling over, everybody that's got to be watching on UFC Fight Pass, and everybody for their beautiful messages. I've had so much love, and I cannot wait to fly that flag on Sunday evening.
Hi, I'm Kristal Hart, and we are at the theater at Madison Square Garden, where Salinas, the Hebrew Hammer Selden, defeats Yias Gabriel Solano by majority decision. And in the heavyweights, Dejan Calloway defeats Thomas Carty by second round TKO stoppage. And in a 10-round rematch of super middleweights, once again, Emmett Brennan defeats Kevin Cronin by unanimous decision. And in the co-main event, Fergal McCrory defeated Keenan Carbajal by 8th round TKO stoppage. And in the main event, CALLUM WALSH retains his WBC Continental America's Super Welterweight title by defeating Dean Sutherland by first round knockout. And I'm Kristal Hart reporting from the theater at Madison Square Garden. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the fight.